Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening to celebrate the 100th anniversary of our company, Edward Rose & Sons. All of you here have a close connection to the company and share in its longevity and success. It is truly an honor to have you all with us to share this special event. It is said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. My grandfather, Edward, took this first step over 100 years ago, leaving his home in Eastern Europe. He set out on a journey with his aunt and only a few personal belongings, and with very little idea of what would await him on his arrival. He arrived in a new country, not yet able to speak the language, armed only with his ambition, natural wit, and the willingness to work, not knowing what lay ahead or the impact he would have on those he would meet along the way. Tonight, we chronicle that journey and celebrate Ed's legacy. A company is more than just a name printed on a legal document. We are not here merely to recognize the chronological age of an organization, but to acknowledge the unique contributions of all our employees and partners. Our longevity is not singly a testament to some established business strategy, but also the exceptional people who have for 100 years sustained it. Tonight, we honor those who put heart and soul into their work, day in and day out, and remember our colleagues of blessed memory. Our company has grown significantly from its humble beginnings in Detroit 100 years ago. In the first few years, we built a mere handful of homes. Today, we manage 68,000 apartment units with more than 2,300 employees. Comprising over 150 communities in 18 states, our company continues to grow and seek out new opportunities across the country. All of this growth and success has not come easy. Over the past century, we have survived the Great Depression, World War II, and numerous economic recessions, not to mention multiple tax code changes in an ever-increasing regulatory environment. Through it all, we have persevered. We were one of the few building companies in Detroit to actually survive the Depression. Edward applied basic, tried and true business principles to keep his small business alive during those trying times, and laid the foundation for years to come. To quote Lin-Manuel Miranda's now famous musical Hamilton, "What is a legacy? It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see." Today, we are standing in the garden Ed planted so many years ago, and we in turn commit ourselves to plant the seeds of our own for future generations. Not many companies survive to reach their 100th anniversary, even more so ones that are privately owned and managed by the same family. Despite the odds, we have managed not only to reach this lofty goal, but to thrive as well. It is well known that a company's greatest strength lies with its people. That fact could not be more evident with our entire team. With commitment to our mission and core principles, each one of our associates dedicates themselves to the job at hand. And it shows in our collective time and service. Many of our employees have 20, 30, 40 years with the company. That includes many of you here this evening, even more than my tenure. Well, not including child labor. I think this speaks volumes to our culture and values that we've held true for decades. As a British football coach once said, if you play for the name on the front of the jersey, people will remember the name on the back. An apropos quote to describe our people. Directed from the top down, it resonates with our staff. Attention to detail, focus on our customers, are hallmarks of our brand. Creating quality and value for our customers, and residence was in the forefront of Ed's business plan. And I'll say this again, as Frances has in her speech, as he always said in his advertising, the most home for your money. But the plan had to be backed up by sound business practice, a focused discipline on operations, and an aversion to carry large quantities of debt. Carried us well through difficult times in our history, principles we still follow today. Success and sustainability also require sound and consistent leadership. In the early 1950s, Ed transferred all management of operations in the family enterprises to his 4 sons, Irving, Sheldon, Leslie, and Jack. Together, they would guide the family businesses and investments successfully for decades. With like minds and interests, they solved the many problems they faced with laser-like focus and intensity. Acrimony took a back seat to accomplishing the established objectives: stability, financial strength, and the survival of the family business. The mantra was always, take care of the family cow. Leaving self-interest and ego behind, they stayed true to the mission of the company and its financial integrity. Without that dedication, I do not believe the company would have made it this far. Dynamics that are rarely seen in family enterprises today. Along our journey, we are privileged to have several partners: Harold, Sam, Scott, and a blessed memory, Ted. You have been with us for half a century. It's quite a long time. Our endeavors together have been both rewarding and profitable over the years, and enjoyable as well. The collaboration, camaraderie have been wonderful, and we look forward to many more years of continued work together. Thank you for being a part of our story. During the history of any company, unanticipated challenges will arise that will put their fabric to the test. In our lifetime, we have seen many come and go. Always, we rise to the challenge and find solutions. This past year was no exception. The pandemic created situations that changed literally by the hour, but we doubled down and faced them head on. Years of training and our untiring will would lead us through this crisis. These are defining moments in our history, and I'm proud to say that our teams led the way through. For myself, the celebration of our centennial has allowed me to reflect on the 30-plus years since I started with the company. It has been an honor and a privilege to be a part of our family's continued management of Edward Rose and Sons. When I was in college, I was seriously considering an aviation career in the Navy. However, when my father asked me to join the company after I finished my graduate studies, I soon realized this was not a gift, but a commitment and a responsibility to carry on a family tradition for another generation. I must admit, though, there were times I wish I had joined the Navy. But the privilege of working with all of you these past years and sharing in our triumphs and challenges has been the highlight of my career. I'm immensely proud of the products and services that our company provides to communities we serve throughout the country, particularly Rose Senior Living and the workforce housing that is so desperately needed in our country today. I now know that I could not have achieved all that I have done today without the guidance of my mentors, Ed, Ted, Jerry, Mike Myers, Don, Jack O'Malia, my uncles Irving and Leslie, Dad. All the faces in the pictures you see around us tonight, you are my guides and inspiration. I owe you an eternal debt and gratitude for all the wisdom, trust, and patience you imparted to me. In a letter to Robert Hooke from Isaac Newton, he wrote, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." I must also give credit where credit is due. I could not have achieved any of this without the support of my lovely wife and partner, Carol Ann. She's been my compass, my foundation, coach, and the love of my life. This is your night too. And to my talented and dedicated daughter, Frances, as well, your guidance and wisdom help me through an ever-changing world. When we began to plan for our centennial celebration more than a year ago, we were trying to think of different ways to present our story. The idea of a film seemed like a marvelous way to share our story and involve our own people in the event. I reached out to Keith Famey to hear his ideas on documenting the story of Edward Rose and Sons. Keith is an award-winning documentary filmmaker, chef, Food Network star, with several of his works presented on public television across the country. Films on topics including the Vietnam War, Alzheimer's patient care, cancer, and his upcoming premiere of Shoah Ambassadors, presenting the stories of Holocaust survivors, are just a part of Keith's brilliant work. Over the past year, we have collaborated with Keith to tell the story of our family and company, and tonight, we are pleased to present his work.